It's July 20th, 1944. A one-eyed, three-fingered Nazi colonel just planted a bomb 6 feet from Adolf Hitler. Timer shows 3 minutes. But here's the twist. Hitler's own generals planned this. This is the assassination attempt the history books forgot. And what happens in the next 180 seconds will decide the fate of World War II. Inside Nazi Germany's Wolf's Lair fortress, 24 high-ranking officers surround a massive oak table. Hitler is studying battle maps. Nobody notices the briefcase tucked beneath the table. The man who placed it, Colonel Klaus von Stauffenberg, war hero, Iron Cross recipient, Hitler's trusted officer, and now, Hitler's assassin. But this isn't a lone wolf attack. This is a full military coup involving hundreds of Nazi officers who've realized their Führer is a madman leading Germany to annihilation. 3 months earlier, Stauffenberg volunteered for the most dangerous job in history. Get close enough to Hitler to kill him. Problem? Hitler is the most protected man on Earth. Random schedule changes, food tasters, body doubles, armored bunkers. Even his own generals can't predict his movements. But Stauffenberg has one advantage. He's a genuine hero. Lost his right hand, left eye, and 2 fingers fighting for Germany in North Africa. Hitler personally awarded him medals. He has access. The plan is genius. Operation Valkyrie, a real Nazi emergency protocol designed to maintain order if Hitler dies. Stauffenberg's group will trigger themselves, blame Hitler's death on rogue SS traitors, seize Berlin, and negotiate peace with the Allies. 1 bomb, 1 chance. No backup plan. July 20th, 10:15 a.m. Stauffenberg lands at Wolf's Lair, carrying a British plastic explosive hidden in his briefcase. Security waves him through. Senior officers aren't searched. 11:30 a.m. The conference starts in 30 minutes, Colonel. Stauffenberg excuses himself to a bathroom. With 3 remaining fingers and pliers, he crushes the acid capsule, activating the 10-minute chemical fuse. His briefcase contains 2 bombs for maximum carnage. Knock, knock. Colonel, they're ready for you. His hands freeze. Only 1 bomb was armed. No time for the second. It'll have to be enough. 11:37 a.m. Stauffenberg enters the conference room. Hitler hunches over maps, calculating troop movements. 24 men packed in tight quarters. Stauffenberg slides his briefcase under the table, 6 feet from Hitler's legs, and mumbles something about an urgent phone call. He walks out. Timer shows 4 minutes, 12 seconds. Stauffenberg reaches his staff car 150 yards away. His driver starts the engine. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. He lights a cigarette with shaking hands. 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Through the bunker window, he can see Hitler's silhouette bent over the maps. 1 minute, 30 seconds. His driver asks, "Colonel, are you all right?" Stauffenberg doesn't answer. He's counting seconds in his head. 45 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. At 12:42 p.m., the bomb detonated. The explosion was massive. But did it kill Hitler? What Stauffenberg does next will shock you. The bomb just exploded. 4 men are dead. The conference room is destroyed. But when the smoke clears, Hitler is alive. And Stauffenberg has no idea. He's already executing the next phase of the coup. The clock is ticking. 12:42 p.m. The explosion rips through Wolf's Lair like thunder. Windows shatter, walls crack, smoke billows into the sky. Stauffenberg, 150 yards away, sees the blast. Debris flying. Officers stumbling out covered in blood. He turns to his aide. "Let's go. He's dead." They speed toward the airport. Stauffenberg is certain nobody could survive that blast in a confined room. But here's what he doesn't know. Seconds before the explosion, Colonel Heinz Brandt, annoyed by the bulky briefcase near his feet, moved it. He pushed it to the other side of the massive oak table leg. That table leg, solid oak, 4 inches thick. When the bomb detonated, that table leg shielded Hitler from the blast. 4 officers died instantly. Others lost limbs, eardrums ruptured. But Hitler, blown backward, pants shredded, hair smoking. Alive. Disoriented, but alive. And furious. Stauffenberg's plane lands in Berlin at 3:45 p.m., 3 hours after the blast. He rushes to military headquarters expecting celebrations. Instead, confusion. "Colonel, the radio says Hitler is alive." "Impossible," Stauffenberg snaps. "I saw the explosion. Start Operation Valkyrie, now." Here's the problem. Communication chaos. Wolf's Lair is isolated. Conflicting reports flood in. Some officers say Hitler's dead, others say wounded. Nobody knows the truth, but Stauffenberg's co-conspirators, General Friedrich Olbricht and others, have already started issuing orders under Valkyrie protocol. Rogue SS elements have attempted a coup. All SS units are to be arrested. The Wehrmacht is assuming control. Across Germany, confused military units start detaining SS officers. The coup is working. But at Wolf's Lair, Hitler is on the phone, screaming, calling loyal generals. "I am alive. Anyone executing Valkyrie orders is a traitor." Berlin military commanders received 2 sets of orders. Valkyrie conspirators saying, "Arrest all SS. Hitler is dead." And loyalist generals saying, "Defend the SS. Hitler lives." Who do they believe? In the confusion, Major Otto Remer, commander of the Berlin Guard Battalion, is ordered to arrest Propaganda Minister Joseph Goebbels. Remer surrounds Goebbels' office with troops. But Goebbels is clever. He gets Hitler on the phone and hands it to Remer. "Major, this is your Führer. I am giving you a direct order. Arrest the traitors at military headquarters." Remer recognizes Hitler's voice. Game over. By 8:02 p.m. the coup was collapsing. Loyalist officers storm military headquarters. Stauffenberg and his co-conspirators barricade themselves in offices. They have pistols. A handful of supporters. Against them, the entire Nazi war machine. Gunfire erupts in the hallways. One of Stauffenberg's allies shoots himself rather than face capture. At 11 p.m., loyalist troops smash through the doors. Stauffenberg is captured. But his execution? It's not what you think. And Hitler's revenge will be the most brutal purge in Nazi history. Midnight, July 20th, 1944. Colonel Stauffenberg and 4 conspirators stand in a courtyard. No trial, no mercy, just 10 soldiers with rifles. But the execution is only the beginning of Hitler's vengeance. What comes next is pure horror. The courtyard of the Bendler Block military complex. Flickering truck headlights provide the only illumination. Stauffenberg and 4 co-conspirators, including General Olbricht, are lined up against a wall. A firing squad of 10 soldiers loads their rifles. No blindfolds. Stauffenberg stares directly at them. An officer reads the sentence, "By order of the Führer, death for high treason." Stauffenberg's last words echo in the darkness. "Long live sacred Germany." Bang, 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 bang. 5 bodies crumple. It's 12:10 a.m., July 21st. Less than 12 hours since the bomb exploded. But this is just the beginning. Hitler doesn't want justice. He wants terror. Over the next 8 months, the Gestapo arrests over 7,000 people connected, or suspected of being connected, to the plot. The trials. A circus. The notorious People's Court under Judge Roland Freisler, a screaming maniac who humiliates defendants before sentencing them to death. Accused officers are stripped of uniforms, dressed in oversized clothes without belts so their pants fall down, and denied lawyers. Freisler screams at them, "You are traitors, cowards, scum." Verdict. Always the same. Death. But Hitler orders something special for the main conspirators. Normal execution? Too merciful. Hitler orders the leaders hanged with piano wire from meat hooks, a slow, agonizing strangulation, not a quick neck snap, and he wants it filmed. The footage is shown to Nazi leadership as a warning. Some victims take 5 minutes to die, slowly choking as the wire cuts into their necks. Among the executed, Field Marshal Erwin von Witzleben, one of Germany's top generals, Count von Stauffenberg's brother Berthold, who was tortured for weeks first, and dozens of officers, politicians, and intellectuals. Even families aren't spared. Under Sippenhaft, blood guilt, Stauffenberg's wife and children are arrested. His family name is erased from records. Here's the tragedy. Operation Valkyrie almost worked. If that briefcase hadn't been moved 6 feet. If Stauffenberg had armed both bombs. If communication from Wolf's Lair had been cut faster. Hitler would have died. The war might have ended in 1944 instead of 1945. Millions of lives saved. The Holocaust potentially shortened. One table leg, 6 feet. That's what stood between success and catastrophe. Today, Stauffenberg is honored in Germany as a hero. Streets bear his name. Memorials mark the Bendler Block courtyard, where he died. Tom Cruise played him in the 2008 film Valkyrie, bringing the story to millions. But here's what most don't know. Stauffenberg wasn't anti-Nazi because he opposed their ideology initially. He turned against Hitler because Germany was losing. He was a nationalist who wanted to save his country, not necessarily stop the Holocaust. Does that make him a hero? A complex figure? History still debates. But one thing is certain. On July 20, 1944, a one-eyed, three-fingered officer came within 6 feet of changing the course of human history. If you found this story incredible, hit subscribe. Next video we're covering the strangest unsolved mystery of World War II, a Nazi submarine that surfaced in 1945, 2 months after Germany surrendered. You won't believe where it came from.